October 16th, 2018. Welcome to another CIRF report. I'm Chris McCleary, nationaldreamcenter.com, chrismccleary.com. And we're looking for the biggest collective influence that might be affecting all of us similarly, and then how to surf that energy. So to start this episode, the biggest question for you is, what are the biggest priorities? What is the biggest priority for you right now to give you the biggest fulfillment in your life? And think about those as we head into our astrology and numerology. We'll start over down here with 16. Numerology 16, unfinished business. It's determination, but it's prioritizing. So in the world of lunar cycles, we're a little bit over halfway, and you're looking at the time left and what resources you have still and what outstanding priorities. So that influence is determination. Then you have the moon in Capricorn, which is determination. It's a goat, sea goat, but it's trying to achieve higher ground. It's getting towards those goals, very goal-oriented. Now, it did just conjunct Pluto. Some of you might be waking up early in that influence. And that is actually indicated in the dream bot. So we'll wait for the dream bot to discuss that particular one. And it's the same as, well, very similar to the sun square moon, which, you've got the outer ego that's in competition with the inner subconscious, all right? And so the head and the heart are typically not really working all that well. The sun might shine light on some of the old habits that are limiting and frustrating and irritating, so you might get that. Now that seems to go towards this notion that kind of heads down and kind of bogged down in, subconscious material or whatever. But as you'll see in the dream bot, this this Capricorn moon past to Pluto is really where we're going to get all of the influence, at least in the dream bot. Or maybe not all but these red arrows. In fact, let's talk about the red arrows first. Whoops. Whoa, where did I go? The red arrows are snapped, attacks, and killing. I'm not sure why that slid down, but there's that. That's just kind of a nasty meme, but there's only 3 of those words. There's really not anything else that portray these attacks and snapped. That's in the astrology. The Pluto is all about like crash and burn, but then building from the ashes. That's kind of indicated there, but more importantly, probably the moon square sun is in this red section. Snapped, attacks, killing. Not that the sun square moon is about killing, but it's more metaphorical for what's happening, the conflict inside of you. Let's move on to the blue arrows. The blue arrows are all about fulfillment. So player, amusement, this is fun fulfillment. Player, amusement, lived, filled, inside, arcade, house, creation, ride, fun, factory. So very productive, but very fulfilling. So we'll call that fulfillment. And then the orange arrows are about future orientation. So psychic, medium, Thomas, the doubting Thomas is kind of doubting the future or doubting whatever. Potential is forward, north of. Something is, I don't know, like a number that's north of is kind of an analogy or a metaphor for a bigger number. Our years ahead. So it's forward looking and fulfillment looking in the blue arrows. So in essence, we've got a Capricorn moon influence, which is very goal oriented. So let's go ahead and do our transition and then talk about how to surf this energy. And as we talk about how to surf the energy, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thanks for all your support so far. Today is, you know, you can kind of see this guy here. They're getting close to the finish line, and he's got his head down. And I understand that that's the way they do this in this sport, but as just kind of a metaphor for get your eyes up, for God's sakes. Get your head up for you today, because the influence is all about prioritizing, and you got to have your eyes on the finish line, on the goals. What are the goals, and what are the goals that are going to give you the biggest bang for your fulfillment, for your inner fulfillment, not the ego's fulfillment. That's the square, the sun square moon is ego is going to try to drive this train. It's not about the ego, it's about that combination of sun and moon. And it's the subconscious and the feelings and the experiences of your past combined with the ego. And you actually use the ego. In the ego kind of sense, this horse is kind of like the ego. And we got the super ego sitting on top of it, or, you know, the soul level, and kind of steering the ship. So this horse could, if it's not very well trained or not very well orchestrated in this sport, can kind of go off and do whatever it wants to. And that's the ego. The ego, without any sort of steering, it goes off and does whatever it wants to and thinks it's going to feel good doing this and that, and meanwhile it's just causing you more problems. So what we want to do is combine everything together and go for more of a soul level finish line. That's the fulfillment we're looking for. So take a moment today, this morning, and just look at all the projects you have going for the rest of, let's just say, the rest of the month. We only have today probably for the moon in Capricorn. So when the moon goes into Aquarius, it's more of a collective orientation. So maybe just today, look at the priorities that you have and really hone in on the one that gives you, your soul, the most fulfillment. And then proceed with your head up and your eyes forward. Okay? That's it for today. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Whoops. Let's do the right ending. There we go. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.